All right, welcome back, lads and lasses. Knockhill in reverse. If you have not driven Knockhill before, if you don't own it, I think it's a track you have to buy. It is a lot of fun. It is a bit of a roller coaster. Really good for the Ray, really good for the Skip Barber. I'm not sure what other series this track is on, but it is a fun track to pick up. If you know Knockhill, just the regular configuration, it actually isn't all that different. You're kind of going through the corners almost the same. It's just from a different perspective, different turn-in points, all that stuff. It will take a little practice, but you should get it pretty fast. So setup. Gonna be using a lot of the sausage curbs here, so the ride height is not as low as it goes. Minus 15 in the front. You could also, if you find the car is too disrupted, you might even want to increase that to minus 14 or minus 13. Just increase that ride height a little bit. Damper compression is left at 20. Again, if you're finding the car too disruptive, you could try 19 or an 18, just soften the front up a little bit. Brake bias, an individual thing, obviously. I'm usually running about 57.5%, so 56.5%, so a little bit lower than what you're used to. As far as spring rates go, now they aren't as soft as they go. They are, I believe it's 2 notches up, so 31 Newton meters. That is to reduce the amount of oversteer in the car. Just to give it a little bit more understeer, keep that back end under control a bit. And good news, camber 1.9 on both sides. Camber is turned up quite a bit. That is because there's a lot of high-speed corners, just to give the car some more grip. Toe in is turned up 1.4, again to increase the turn in and reduce the braking distance, and as well get some more heat into the tires. The track is cool and it's a short lap, and tire temps seem to be pretty low. Spring rates in the rear is soft as they go. Grip, you need grip in the rear. There is a lot of corners here to spin out on. Camber is 1.5 on the right, 1.4 on the left, so if you don't want to bother trying to get that 1.4, not going to be a big deal if you leave that at 1.5. Toe in the rear turned up again, just to reduce that braking distance and to get some heat into the tires. In the rear, so the ride height is just 1 notch higher than the front. That's just to keep the rake at a good angle. ARB is 15. A lot of sharp corners here, so you do have to get some rotation in the car. If you find you're losing the back end too much, too easy, you may want to try a 10, but it is pretty important here to have some good rotation in the car. So you might want to start off at 10 and then work your way up to 15. Rear compression is left the same, 6 and 18. Fuel level 13 liters. That should do it for a race. 12 is probably not going to be able to do it, but check that out. 12 might be a bit risky. And gear stack short. You're going to lose some time in the start-finish straight compared to standard, but through the rest of the track, the short is going to give you better performance. If you're one of the faithful using a stick, I still think short's probably the best way to go. There's not a lot of rapid gear changes, so short probably is manageable with a stick, but if you find that it is not working out standard, you might have to bump up to standard. So we'll go into the laps here. The track temp is 19 degrees. I've seen it up to 21, so the track's pretty cool for this week. Testing's 31%, so not super. So we're going to do, let's 51 here. So coming into turn 1, fourth gear, obviously we're at the max revs. This is where the short stack is a little weaker. So looking for the green bit here, Basically using where the white lines intersect here as a braking marker. Fourth gear, shifting down to first, very hard on the brakes, very hard on the brakes. I came in here, I lifted a little on the brakes, and then thought better of it. First gear, you want to turn in here and be releasing the brakes. You do not want to be turning in here hard on the brakes. You are going to spin out if you do that. Watch out in lap 1. There's going to be a lot of people, especially if you're in the middle or rear of the pack, spinning out through this one. Releasing the brakes, you want to turn in, get tight up against the blue and white curb here, but you don't actually want to get on it. And then releasing the brakes as you're coming down this hill. If you are on the brakes while you come down this hill, you are going to be spinning out. And you do not want to be stomping on the throttle either. If you get on the throttle too aggressive, you're going to spin out. And if it's just a little too aggressive, you're going to run wide and pick up an X and get in the gravel and slow down and all that stuff. So easy on the acceleration, picking it up, unwinding the wheel, using all that blue and white curb on exit, but yeah, the sand, no good. So this is obviously going to be a big passing opportunity, especially if someone hit the sand or the grass. You can get by them. You do want to be more mid-track just to approach this next corner with the car straight. If you are going defensive and you're right up against the right-hand side here, that's probably actually going to cost you because you're going to have to come into this slower. The guy on the outside is probably going to be able to come into this corner faster. And you're basically looking for, in fourth gear now, you're basically looking for the patch of sand up here. I give it just a little lift just to make sure the car is steady and straight. And then once you get onto this sand, getting onto the brakes, hard on the brakes, harder than you think, down into third gear. And then as soon as you start to see the blue and white curb here over the crest, you're turning in towards that. There is the sausage curb here. You don't want to get on that. That is going to send you flying. Releasing the brakes, and again, it's important you're off the brakes as you come over this hill, over the crest. If you are on the brakes at this point, you are going to be spinning out. And then as you get you're over the ridge, then picking up the throttle. And again, this is going to take just some practice. You don't want to stomp on it too much. You'll push wide and get that X. So just take a little practice there. Make use of all of the curbs. And then shifting up into fourth gear for a brief time. So fourth gear, and basically as you approach the white barrier here, or you can use the dirty part of the curb here as a marker. Fourth gear, shifting down or leaving it in fourth, just a little dab of brakes. Cold tires, just a bigger dab of brakes. You want to leave it in fourth here. And then you want to just dab of brakes just to get the turn in, get the car under control, get straight, get lined up for this sausage curb. You want to get your left tires on the sausage curb. You don't want to be on the gas on the sausage curb. It's easy to spin the tires up, and one tire's on the track, one tire's on the sausage curb. Easy to spin out there if you are on the throttle. So just rolling in. Once you're over the curb, picking up the throttle, and once you make sure you are lined up with the pylons on the right-hand side, get your right-hand tire over that sausage curb. And again, full throttle. You can do that. It's fine. And then coming into the next corner, this is a little tricky. I do just a little lift here because you can't be coming into this one sliding. You have to get the wheel straight, and as you get the wheel straight here, now I'm going to be shifting down into third gear and then getting the car onto the blue and white curb here, braking in third gear, down into second, and the dirty section of the curbs here, basically in the middle of it, turning in to this next corner. And again, releasing the brakes. It's a bit of a late apex, picking up the throttle as early as you can. I think I clipped the sausage here. You don't want to do that. Don't touch that sausage. keep it on the blue and white, and that's a little quicker, a little disruptive going over that one. And yeah, full throttle, second gear. You can use more of the track. I probably could have used a little bit more of the track on exit. There is a lot of room out there, and getting yourself over, you don't want to be hugging the right hand side here so much. You want to come at this so you can straighten the car up for the next one, right up tight against the sausage curb there, and just making use of all of this blue and white curb. And you can see the kink. Basically you're turning left at the kink. It's a blind corner, just takes a little practice. Turn left at the kink there, and we're working our way up into fourth eventually, and right up tight against the sausage curb here. If you go on the sausage curb, you're going to catch some air. That's not the end of the world. It's not the fastest way to do it. You want to keep it on the blue and white curb, but you do not want to run wide. If you are on the pavement, if you're not on this curb at all, you're probably going to catch this gravel and grass, which isn't the end of the world, but it's going to slow you down a lot for this section. So if the guy in front of you does get onto this grass or gravel, you should be set up for a good overtake. And you can use all of the pit lane here. There's no X, no penalty for doing that. In fourth gear, it's a long run to the line, so you might be able to overtake someone. So don't give up. If you're right behind them, you might be able to get an overtake. And so that's a 51 flat. My optimum's in the 50s. It's going to be some really fast drivers that are definitely into the 50s. But if you are in the low 51s, you should be competitive. So we'll run this out at full speed. Good luck. Watch out if you're new to this track. The first couple laps, a lot of spins out here. So if you were in the middle of the field or towards the back, keep your eyes up. First couple laps can be pretty deadly here. Good luck. We'll see you next time.